I've been drawing this router on here as this circle with the arrows pointing in it. And that is the drawing version of a router. A physical router can take on one of many, 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 many forms. The router that I'm going to be using consistently throughout this class is a Cisco 1841 router. Cisco unfortunately does not sell this router anymore. However, it's widely available. It's a pretty solid workhorse of a router that's been widely implemented in industry. It's got quite a few years of life left on it. They just do not manufacture these anymore. They're up to the next generation of them, which I believe is a 1941. Functionally, they're very similar. I don't know all of the technical specification differences on it. Now, you see on here, there are a bunch of network jacks on here that we can plug into. So this router, we're actually kind of looking at the back side of the router. The front side is just a green faceplate. In data networking, we always want to look at the back side of the router because that's where all the good stuff is. So we have a bunch of interfaces on here that we can plug cables into. So we can plug this PC into an interface on the router. That interface in the router is most likely going to be either this top interface here that has a little yellow label, or this bottom interface here which has a little label. These are the fast Ethernet interfaces on this router. We have some serial interfaces on the router here, these other network jacks that are on here, as well as these other two ports which are configuration. When we get into router configuration, I'm going to go through the nitty-gritty details so that you know exactly where to plug your cables to in the router and you can get it configured up. In this particular video, we're just looking at how the device works and why we need it. So here's another piece of the puzzle that you should be aware of. These Cisco routers that come like this, these are completely different than the home router that you have in your house right now, unless you're using one of these. And the home router that I'm referring to in your house is going to be some consumer brand electronic device. A Linksys or Netgear or D-Link or some other product. There's a bunch of them out there. Those are the big ones. I'm not necessarily advocating for any of them. I don't actually care about which one you go with. Most of them work very similarly. Some of them provide extra features on it that are important, but regardless, my point here is that when you purchase a consumer electronic device, the manufacturers of that device set that device up so all you have to do as an uninformed network engineer or uninformed network engineer apprentice is plug the wires into the right spot of the device, go through the instructions to set up the passwords, and connect your other devices to it wirelessly if needed, and you're done. There's no configuration required, or very little configuration required. On these Cisco boxes, whether it be an 1841 or any other Cisco device, they come out of the box blank. You, as the administrator, have the sole responsibility of deciding how that device is going to be used. You, as the administrator, have to configure every last detailed aspect of it. So out of the box, it comes blank, literally blank.